welcome, day 27 of the lockdown. And yeah, we survived like a month without moving around, without seeing our friends, without seeing our families. So yeah, we made 27 days, and our prayers said we're going into phase 4 from the 1st of May, which means some South Africans have been granted some freedom of movement, where they will be rendering essential services, whatever that might be. So yeah, it's great stuff. Um, we're going to cover the last week. We had a look at the approach. How do you get the bite out there? How do you get people interested to give you the time of day so that you can actually share the business with them? And what we're going to do today is have a look at, they've taken the bite. They came back and they said, okay, give me some more information. Tell me more about what it is that you have to offer and how we're going to handle that. So with that said, just before we get into that, I'm quickly going to share some stuff with you. This is a report that I get on a weekly basis, and it just covers the COVID, how people feel about it, and how they interpret what COVID, the effect that COVID's going to have, etc., etc. So if you look at it, cause economic collapse. Now, the 4 bars that you see there, the first one is just before the lockdown started. The next one, which is a little bit more blue, that is lock 1, which is the first week, second week, third week, or third, what they call lock. Now, if you have a look at the second set of bars there, cause loss of earnings. As you can see, only 38% of people were concerned about loss of earnings when the whole thing started. That has risen to 59%, to 95%, to 97%. What it's telling us is that what we're looking at is people out there, 97% of those that were part of the survey, those are people that are concerned that they're going to lose their income. And of course, we have the answer for those people. So yes, I just think as we go deeper into it, because I mean, level 4 is not really going to change the outcome for a lot of people. So yeah, I just think it's going to become so much easier for us as we go along, where people are really going to give you the time of day to find out exactly what is Viewpoint is all about. Okay, then I'm going to start with tonight's presentation. I can just find it. There you go. Okay, just a reminder for everybody. There is a we record the session and we post it onto YouTube later on. So if you have somebody that would like to watch it, etc., you can refer them to my YouTube channel, which is purely Rule of Fourie, and there people can see all the sessions that we started since the lockdown. It is out there. We're going to leave it there for people that missed it, so they can catch up. A brand new person that you now signed up, you can say, okay, now that's the first phase, second phase, the fourth phase, etc., as they go along, and they can actually go and watch it on YouTube. Okay, so tonight's session is the guy said, okay, yes, please send me information. What is it that actually happens then? Okay, now I like talking in pictures, and I like to create something that's going to stay with people and that they're going to remember. Now, we all know fudge. We actually had chocolate fudge tonight, which was very, very nice. Our grandson made it for us. But if you think about fudge, now a lot of people want to offer people fudge. And with fudge, I'm now referring to Viewpoint. But what they do is when they start the whole process, they send them a recipe and say, this is a recipe for fudge. Now, for some people, they might not even know fudge, which means it's really not going to intrigue them enough. It's not really going to move them into action so that they say, okay, now let's have a look at what this fudge thing is all about. So if you look at the recipe there, not really, except if you read the first sentence, when you want something super sweet and quick. Okay, now again, for a lot of people, that's going to put them off. But if you, for example, post something like that, now we're getting closer to the point, which is, this looks a lot more appealing than the printed matter that we just had a look at. And then if you look at the next one, I think that is really now where people sit up and take notice. So always keep that in mind when you when you offer people the business, make it intriguing, make it in such a way that people sit up and take note. And it's also the way that you feed information to the people. Always keep it attractive and keep people uh, involved with what you're actually feeding them. Okay, so for tonight, 3 things. The person said, yes, send me more information. What is it that you're going to do? We're going to have a look at the personalized voice note, and then a presentation. You need to either expose them to the 2-minute, 10-minute video, etc. We just find that with the normal full time presentation, it kind of, a lot of people get put off if they start it and they see that it's like 40 or 45 minutes, and they go like, hang on, I'm not going to watch this. I would rather start with something small and then lead to bigger things. Okay, and then some written info, something for people that still read. We know we always joke about it and say that people don't read anymore, but there are still people out there that prefer to read. They prefer to actually have something in writing. Whether they feel it's more official, more contractual, I don't know. But yes, people do prefer that. And it's a nice way to summarize, to say these are the advantages of the business, etc. Okay, starting with the very first one, which is the personalized voice note. Try and, if you know anything about your prospect, try and make it tailor-made for the prospect. So if it's a person that's basically in their, or very close to their 60s, etc., you know that these are people that are moving into retirement, and you make a voice clip, then that would be a good thing to put in there, where you say, listen, I know exactly where you're from. I'm also retired, or I've sat down and I started doing my retirement planning, and I realized, hang on, I've got a problem. So this is absolutely, if you look at supplementing your pension, this is absolutely perfect. If it's a person that you know that's losing their income, again, say to them, you know, we've got so many people in our family and friends, amongst our family and friends, that are going to lose their income or lose part of the income, take a pay cut, etc. And we just feel that this is absolutely a perfect tool to supplement that loss of income, etc., etc. The important thing is don't make it too elaborate. Don't go and do like a 20-minute or a 30-minute little voice thing. Just keep it simple, keep it short. That's what people want. Why should I be watching this? What will I see when I actually watch this? And keep like a library. You know, it helps you so that you don't need to redo it each and every time. So when you've done one for a person that's on the verge of retirement, save it. When you do one for a person that's going to lose their income, save it. If you do it for a person that's purely looking for a second income, save it. And so the next time that you send it out, you already have it in your library, so you can start building your own little library of voice messages, etc. So when it comes to sending out the message, you can save a lot of time and effort by doing that. Okay, then, like we said with the video is, it explains the full business concept. But the amazing thing is people watch the video and then they ask you questions where you think, where were you when you actually watched the video? What were you looking at when you watched the video? So with the video, just accept that you're going to get people coming back and asking you questions where you can't fathom what they saw in the video, etc. But if it's a person that's extremely analytical, I would send them the full video. I would either a Rob or a Brendan video, but the full one. People that want to know everything and they want all the I's dotted and they want all the T's crossed, etc. I would actually send them the full video. But for the majority of people, I mean, Philip's been working with a 2-minute video, I don't know for how long, and he said now with the 10-minute video, it's absolutely perfect. The 2-minute was too short, the 40-minute was too long, and the 10-minute video is absolutely spot on. Okay, so keep that in mind, and also know the person that you're sending the video to. Okay, the written info. I did a post on my Facebook page where I just summarized all the advantages of Viewpoint as a business model. Uh, but I find that it's a little bit long-winded because it's in bullet points. It's like 2 columns on one single page, so it's a lot of information. Pick those things that turns you on. Pick those things that attracted you to the business. I always say that if it worked for you, it will work for a lot of people out there. I think personally, when I go written info and I approach a person for a second income, time is usually an issue where they go like, I don't have the time, or they might go, I don't have the time. So you say to them, this is a convenient business. What we expect you to do is use our technology. You can do it outside of prime time. So if you can't sleep, I mean, 12 o'clock at night, you can actually access the system and you can build a business while other people are sleeping. So the short summary, have a look at those things that attracted you. And you're going to find, like I said, if it attracted you, then most probably it will attract other people as well. Go to viewpoint.net, go to the website, and refer them to the website. Because if you look at the website, I mean, basically everything that they want to know is on the website. Whether they want to know about the products, the business model, the background, who's behind it, who's running it, etc. Everything is on the website. So if you do something and you want to extract information from the website, I always say, if you do that, then you always know that you're putting the correct information across, because it's not subject to your interpretation. The way the company intended it to go out there, that is the way that it will go out there and end up giving people absolutely the correct information. We started our own personal webpage when the lockdown started, which contained a lot of like personal story things on our side, where people can see you as a person. It's not purely something, an ad that's plastered out there. It makes it more personal. People think they know you better by looking at that. But the web page is not essential. I'm not going to add that. You can do a Facebook page. You can refer them to your Facebook page. Those are all little things just to make it personal. Because the voice message, people saw an ad, which is very sterile, very impersonal. And the next thing they see your face, they hear your voice. And that little bit more personal gives people, I don't know, it just gives them more confidence that they're working with another person that might have had the same concerns, that might have had the same, is it really going to work? Those little worries, etc., that they have at that point in time. And people will move if they know that they're going to have the support. I always say that whenever you present the business to people, you basically have, sorry, I just want to admit there. You need to show them that the business works. And I mean, to show them that the business works, there is so much evidence out there. If you look at the Tell All Tuesdays, etc., there are loads of things out there. Nobody can come back to you and say it doesn't work. When they say it doesn't work, they think it won't work for them. That's what they're actually telling you. The second objective that you have is to show them that they can do it. And that's where you really come into the picture. And you need to understand that you cannot sit on the sideline when it comes to that. You need to commit to show people, don't worry about it. I was also like, I didn't know how to do it when I started off, but I had good support. I had people helping me, and I'm going to be there for you. So whatever your concern is going to be, whatever your need is going to be, I'm going to be there to help and assist you. Because we have the system. We have everything in place. It's so simple. It's so doable to actually go out there and help and support people. So, yeah, the whole thing about the written info, it's just do like a short summary. Like I said, use information that's already done by the company, so that you know that whatever you're going to present to them is factually correct. Okay, now the information is out there. Little voice note went out there. You sent the person the presentation, and yes, and you did a little bit of a write-up. Now, what now? How do you know whether the person is interested or not? Okay, now, this is a suggested follow-up pattern. I always say that uh, I would rather follow up sooner than later. For the simple reason is we are all blessed with a very short memory. And I can actually prove that. If we weren't blessed with a short memory, um, then we wouldn't have more than one child. Ask all the mothers. Okay, so it's just one of those things where people forget very, very soon stuff that they've actually seen. So I just find 24 hours to me, but I know out there the majority of people are working on 48 hours, which is like 2 days later. Um, you need to follow up. You need to ask them, have you watched? Do you have any questions, etc.? And that is what we're going to cover now with the next. How do you follow up, and how regularly do you follow up? Now, like I said, out there, 48 hours, 2 weeks, 3 months, I follow up until they either come back to me and say, listen, bug off, else I'm going to shoot you. Or alternatively, yes, I'm in. To me, I've been working on people for 2 years. They started nibbling. And now we're at the point where they might be signing up. So yes, it's to me, I never take them off the list. But 48 hours, 2 weeks, 3 months, that is a good a rule of thumb to use. Okay, now something that Philip learned, and Philip will tell you, is that he assumed if people do not come back to him, voluntary. So he sent them the information, etc. Now he's waiting for them to come back and say, yes, 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 please sign me up. And that does not really happen. You need to physically be in contact with them to find out, are they in or are they out? Okay, so with the follow-up, these are a couple of examples that we put together. This is one that actually comes from Philip. It's actually brilliant. And a lot of people are using, I'm using it myself. It says, hi, Mary. If a person does not respond to the information sent, it's usually one of two reasons. A, you are too nice a person to say no to. B, you need more information to make a decision. If I may ask, which one of the two are you? Now you're going to find, and you're going to be surprised, where people receive the information, you were waiting for them to get back, you were waiting for them to give you the yes or the no, nothing happened, and you send them this, and they go like, oh, I've been so busy, I haven't had time to really look at it, but I promise you, I will get back to you. What do you do in a case like that, where they go like, I'm going to watch it, I haven't watched it yet? Give them a time. If you leave it open-ended, they will not come back to you, because then they think, well, I can do this whenever I have the time. So say to them, okay, if you haven't watched it, are you going to watch it today? Are you going to watch it tonight? When are you going to watch it? Because then I'll give you a call after that, or I'll be in contact after that. But don't just leave it open-ended, because then they think that they've got weeks, etc., to actually to go and watch it. In Afrikaans, hy Piet, indien 'n persoon nie reageer nadat ek vir hulle die viewpoint inligting gestuur het nie, is dit gewoonlik een van twee redes. Jy's te oordentlik om vir my nee te sê, of jy benodig meer inligting om 'n besluit te neem. As ek mag vra, wat een van die twee is jy? This really works well. I just find it's like a soft approach. You're not really trying to push the guy into a corner. And the majority of them will come back in a positive way, where they go like, sorry, I just haven't watched it yet, or the wife and myself, we're still trying to decide, is this something that we want to do, or whatever the case might be. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, this is one that that we learned years ago. And again, it puts yourself in the picture as to how the person actually evaluates the business. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1, you absolutely love it and you're in. 5, you like what you see, but you need more information. Or 10, you want to throw up. Okay, now, if the guy goes 10, you leave him. I mean, you don't want to work with people that want to throw up. So that, again, if you don't know, I mean, you can even use this face-to-face. If you do like a Zoom with a person, say to them, okay, you don't get any feedback. They poke the face. You don't know whether they're excited or not. You go like, okay, just help me here, because I don't want to really waste your time. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself? 1, you're in, 10, you want to throw up. and they will then come back and say, okay, this is where I see myself. If they go like 5, you say, okay, now can you be more specific? If you say you need more information, can you give me what it is that you need, instead of me like giving you information that you don't really want or that you already have? What specifically would you like to see? Okay, and then of course we've got people that they just go in there, hi, you know how you are. Now that is one certain way of knowing yes or no. But I just find I would rather keep contact with the person, because if the person says no, I'm out, do you still have an open door? So just keep that in mind. If the person says no, then try and keep the door open. Say, no, that's fine, I appreciate it, I will respect your view, I respect your decision, but would you mind if I stay in contact? Because I really would like to stay in contact and tell you how the business is progressing, get their permission, so then it doesn't become spamming. You can keep on sending them positive things. And somewhere along the line, you know, circumstances change. Currently, they think everything's hunky-dory. And then a month down the line, all of a sudden, all those little things change. Another one is I'm putting together a small team, and I can only help four team members. I've got a place reserved for you, so let me know if you have any questions. Be careful with this one, especially people that are really, they reckon that honesty is the only policy. If they find out that there were more than 4 spaces available, you might regret it. So this is one of those, but again, people have been using it. It creates a sense of urgency. It gets people moving. They go like, hey, I don't want to lose out on this opportunity. So yeah, let me move to action. So just keep that in mind when you use that, that if you work with people that really appreciate honesty, then it might not be a good option. Okay, you know, your story, nobody can argue with your story. It's just something that, when we talk about facts and when we talk about, for example, I can tell you how many people have been tested positive for COVID. I can tell you how many people unfortunately passed away. But if I get that information wrong, people can argue with that. But if I tell them how I feel about people that are becoming sick because of COVID and how I feel about people that are dying because of COVID, nobody can argue with that, because that is my personal feeling. That is how I feel about it. So if I talk to people, I always bring my story into it, and nobody can argue with that. So if I'm talking to a person that's concerned about losing their job, losing their income, and I say, you know what happened to us is that we decided a long time ago that we will not be dependent on one single income. And the reason why we did that is we just know that things are so uncertain today. You know, they say the only certainty in Africa is uncertainty. So things change from day to day. I mean, nobody listening tonight would have said 4 months ago that this, or 5 months ago that this would happen in the world. So we just decided we will never ever rely on one income again. We will always have more than one income. And relate it back to them. It's not about you, but the story will relate to their circumstances, will relate to what it is that they need, where they want to be, where they want to go. It's not about you, but your story will move them. I always say that, you know, if you have a good story and you share it with somebody and you can see emotion in them, or you can hear emotion in them, then you've got a really good story. So your story is extremely powerful. We always said that we are storytellers. We're not really business builders, because people relate to your story and they will be moved by your story and they will take the action if they feel it's something that they can relate to and it's something that's attractive to them. So tell your story.